highest grossing live event in arena history, highest grossing MMA event in California history. Fight of the night was Lemos and Dern. Performance of the night was Zhang, Topuria, and Hernandez. They all won $50,000. Congrats to them.
Dana, you just laid out the numbers there. Obviously, you've made a commitment to the Honda Center moving forward. An amazing week, an amazing fight night. I guess just first off, your thoughts overall on this fight week and tonight.
Yeah, it's good to be back. This arena's been very good to us for a long time, and we like the guys who run this place, and we look forward to doing it. They have big plans for around here, too. They're building an experience here, so happy to be back with these guys.
Capped off by an incredible main event, Ilia Topuria. Man, he seemed to be the enemy all week long, but now it seems like a star. I mean, we're hearing these chants outside this venue right now. I mean, what are your thoughts on him as a champion?
Yeah, no, listen, a lot of questions going into this thing. You know, never been in a main event like this, never felt the heat, the pressure. He couldn't have looked any better. Against a Volk who looked really good, too. That fight was heating up. They were exchanging. Topuria looked solid, man. Very solid.
Yeah. Ilia immediately said, hey, he wants to go to Spain to do this. You had mentioned Spain before it was on the radar. Does that become an immediate priority?
I want to go to Spain, too. We're going to Spain. Yeah.
You think his first title defense will be there, or is that too soon to make happen?
No. Yeah. If there's a venue available for us, we'll be there.
I love it. Alexander Volkanovski, a great champion, right? He mentioned maybe a rematch. What do you think? I mean, he's given rematches. This was a pretty decisive result. But, you know, he's been a great champion, given rematches along the way. What do you think? Is he deserving of a rematch, or is that not?
I don't know yet. Just happened. I'm not even thinking about that right now.
Yeah. A couple other ones real quick. Robert Whittaker, an amazing performance from him.
Both look good. Costa, it was almost disfigured. It was so nasty. He stayed in there, kept swinging, kept getting kicked in the leg, kept moving forward, stayed in the fight. Both guys look solid.
Yeah. When you have your matchmaker meetings, will Robert be in your title discussions? I mean, is he right there? I mean, obviously he's had some losses to the champs and that sort of thing, but a former champion. I mean, do you feel like he's at least in the discussion for a #1 contender type fight?
Of course he is. I mean, the former champion himself looked good tonight against a big, strong, durable guy who you could tell was motivated and wanted to win. We've had some weird history with Costa, but when you look at the Rockhold fight and then you look at the fight tonight, Costa comes to fight, man. When you can get him in here, he comes to fight.
Last one, I know you don't make fights, but Merab, Dvalishvilli, Joe Rogan said it. But I mean, he's got to be next, right? I mean, Ali and Cheeto, he's got to be that for the winner.
Yeah.
And then
he looked good tonight, man. He came in and did what he had to. Listen, when you're, in my opinion, you can't take 3 years off in a combat sport. It's never done well for anybody. And Cejudo, looked great in the first round. Thought he started to gas out in the second round. Merab just got stronger as the fight went on.
Yeah. Last thing, I'll just ask you about the UFC 300 main event. You talked about all the drama that it took building up to it and all the options you looked at. Why did you settle on what you settled, and what are your thoughts on the fight?
I wouldn't say that I settled.
Decided on. It's an apology.
Yeah. Listen, we were trying to make lots of fights, and in this business, it's about taking opportunities. Headlining UFC 300 with all the buzz and all the energy around it. Let me say this: Leon Edwards has had like 3 opponents throughout this thing. Leon Edwards doesn't say no to anybody. This kid is an absolute stud. He's had like 3 opponents thrown at him during UFC 300. Yes. Was willing to take on anybody, man. Kid's an absolute stud. Leon, thank you. Much respect.
Dana, going back to the guys that haven't taken that opportunity to get on the headline of UFC 300, why was that? Were they asking for too much money? Did they feel they had...
No. This was not about money. It was all about timing. We got 3 killer cards in a row, and in this business, you have injuries and all kinds of other bullshit that goes on behind the scenes. And we've been talking about 300 forever, and we were just trying to make the best fights that we could possibly make. We had 2 more fights to make, and we were trying to put on 2 badass fights. So these 2 guys are it. I mean, I'm sure if you saw the video I walked through, both guys are hungry. They both want it. No way that fights.
For UFC 200, for Conor Aldo, we've seen these like epic trailers, sort of movie trailers. Do you think we could see one of them come back for 300?
Say that again?
In the past, for big events like Conor versus Aldo, you had them walking down the streets of Las Vegas. Do you think we could get one of those trailers for 300?
No, I have to, now that you said it, I guess, right? I got to figure something out.
You're welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
And, this week you went viral for your new dislike of podcasts. Is there no point anyone asking you to join those again?
Yeah, please. You know where I'm at with the podcast. I feel like fucking Jordan Peterson every time I turn on Instagram. I'm on a fucking podcast. Yes. No more podcasts, please. Podcast it out.
By the way, did Rob and Costa get a bonus? You mentioned how good that fight was.
Did what?
Did Rob and Costa get some extra money for their fight?
They did not. They did not.
Okay.
We gave out 3 performance bonuses and a fight of the night. We'll kick them something, though. We'll take care of them for you. You're welcome.
Buenas noches, Dana. Por aquí.
Hey, how are you?
How are you? Quería saber, question in Spanish. Quería saber qué valoración hace de la actuación de Ilia Topuria y si cree que puede ser la siguiente superestrella de la UFC.
Just wanted to know, what did you think of Ilia's performance, and how do you think of him going forward as the champion in UFC?
Yeah, I think he looked great. Listen, obviously, Volk's one of the greatest of all time, and he's definitely the greatest in that weight class ever. And Topuria looked damn good in his last fight, and he looked damn good tonight. If he keeps his head together and, continues to do what he's doing, he's going to be a force in that division.
Es un grande, tuvo una tremenda actuación. Sabemos cómo Volk es un grande también del deporte. Ilia tuvo una actuación tremenda la última vez y ahora, o sea, si sigue así, va a ser tremendo también en el futuro UFC.
Volkanovski ha pedido inmediatamente la revancha y ha dicho que no le importaría ir hasta España. ¿Cree Dana que este puede ser un movimiento interesante este mismo año?
Volkanovski immediately asked for the rematch, and he said he wouldn't mind going to Spain. Do you think that would be a cool thing to do?
Yeah, well, we're definitely going to Spain. Who he's going to be facing, I don't know yet, but I have a lot of respect for Volkanovski. We'll see how that plays out, but as long as there's a venue, we're going to Spain.
Definitivamente vamos a España, no sabemos exactamente cuál sería el adversario, pero vamos a ver si sea Volkanovski. Solo tenemos que ver la arena y dónde lo hacemos, pero definitivamente vamos a ir a España.
Hablando de la arena, se ha hablado mucho del Santiago Bernabéu. ¿Hay un interés real en intentar hacer un evento en el Santiago Bernabéu, en el estadio del Real Madrid?
Talking about the venue, much has been said about the Santiago Bernabéu, the new stadium for Real Madrid in Madrid. Is there a real interest in actually doing
How many seats is that?
¿Cuántos? ¿80,000?
Sí, completo sí, la mitad unos 35.000.
Full for soccer, 80,000, about 35,000 if you actually cut it into an arena for an event like that.
Indoor or outdoor?
Indoor. ¿No? Sería todo cubierto, ¿no? There will be.
I like it.
35?
Sounds good, yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Y por último, ¿podría debutar la UFC directamente con un pay-per-view, con un evento numerado en España?
And lastly, could the UFC debut in Spain with a pay-per-view? Would it be could the UFC debut in Spain with a pay-per-view?
He's the champion. The guy from Spain is the world champion. Yes, it would be a pay-per-view.
Es un español, representa a España como campeón. Definitivamente sería pago por visión.
Okay, amazing. Thank you very much, Dana.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Dana. Right here.
Yeah.
I just got one for you. I wonder if you could talk to me about the decision to put Wanderlei Silva in the Hall of Fame.
He deserves to be. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Back when, me and the Fertittas got into this sport, and we were huge Wanderlei Silva fans, and everybody that was a hardcore fan back then was a big fan of Pride, and a lot of big stars came out of there, and Wanderlei has done a lot for the sport in the early days, and he deserves to be in there. Yeah.
Right here. You got asked about Alexander Volkanovski's future and stuff, but it's 2 knockouts in about 4 months now. Do you think, I know he likes to be so active, but do you think he needs to take a little break now?
Yeah. I don't know what he's going to want to do, but that's up to doctors, not me. If a doctor says he's cleared to fight, it's up to the doctor. I don't determine, whether he's healthy enough to compete. Doctors do.
And you heaped a lot of praise on Leon Edwards there for his willingness to fight at 300.
Yeah.
What happens now? He's not going to be on the card, so is he wanting to fight soon? Are you trying to get him at 301 or 302?
Yeah, listen, the guy's willing to fight 3 different opponents, and obviously if it was for UFC 300, it's 3 nasty opponents. This guy doesn't care. He'll fight anybody. And, think about this. We call, and we're talking about UFC 300, you're going to headline, you're going to fight this guy. Then we call back and say, the fight that's going to happen. You're going to fight this guy, right? And then the 3rd time we call and change opponents on him again. It's just crazy. And this guy could care less. He's up for the challenge. He's ready to fight anybody. I love it. Respect it very much.
So you sorted through a few different opponents for him. Where do you go back to next time? Is it still Bilal at like the top?
I have no idea what we're going to do yet. He's not fighting on 300 when we figure it out.
Yeah.
Then we'll.
And just last thing I wanted to ask you about Mackenzie Dern. She, took another rough loss, but she's been very exciting in these past few. But
yeah.
It's more been because she's been on the feet, kind of throwing. I guess what would like the advice to her, someone like her, be in terms of evolving and maybe trying to stay away from this type of damage she's taken the past few fights?
She's not on the transport thing. Did she? We were. That's fucking crazy. We were convinced that she had a broken orbital in that fight. When she went down with the eye thing, we were convinced it was a broken orbital, and she fought through it. But I'm shocked that it's not. You just reminded me of that, and I just looked. She's not on there. She's so fucking tough, man. She is so tough. And what's your question? Yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome.
There you go. And last thing, Mark Zuckerberg walked out with Volk. He was here cage side having a blast during Mackenzie's fight. Did he ask to do that, to walk out, or was that Volk's idea?
Volk did. Yeah, Volk asked him to walk with him, and people ask me about that type of stuff. It's like even a guy like Mark Zuckerberg, who, you have everything. There's a couple things in this business. First of all, number one, first and foremost, there's the fight, right? When you have the opportunity to come to one of these fights and sit in the crowd. Hunter was telling me tonight, the guy from Imagine Dragons was like, holy shit, this is one of the, most intense sporting events I've ever been to, and yeah. Then to stand where I stand for a face-off when you got these big fights, it's without a doubt one of the most unique and incredible things to do in your lifetime if you're a huge fan. And the other one would be to walk out with a world champion as he's going out to defend his title. So no matter how much money you have, no matter what you have in life, it's one of those very unique, amazing things if you get the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, and his passion for the sport is obviously very genuine. I know he's dealing with like the knee recovery and stuff, but he said he wants to do an MMA fight. I know the Elon thing is in the past, but if he wanted to do that, is that something you would want to work with, or does he need to fight, somewhere lower level?
I don't know. I know he wants to fight, and he loves this sport. I mean, this guy loves this sport. He's super passionate about it. He brings fighters out all the time to train with him and stuff, and everybody in this room knows this, or most of the people in this room anyway. When you get into this sport, it's fucking fascinating the way this pulls you in. When you think about the people that Habib didn't even make it to the locker room and Putin was on the phone. Valentina Shevchenko meets with the president of her country every time she goes back there. The royal family in Abu Dhabi. The list goes on and on of the people that these powerful, extremely wealthy people that just fall in love with the sport. When you get close to this thing, it just sort of sucks you in, and it you just fall in love with it. So when I see people like that, like Zuckerberg, love this thing as much as they do, it's fun. It's awesome. You done with me?
Dana over here.
Yeah.
To your left.
Yep.
Or to your right, I'm sorry.
Okay. Hi.
Hi. Throughout the entire promotion, Ilia Topuria was saying that he is not going to give any of the top guys a shot at the title if he were to win that, and he's been kind of chasing.
That's awesome. Great to hear.
He's been chasing this Conor McGregor fight, which seems a little unrealistic. Well, what can you promise to the fans who want to know what's really next for Topuria?
You know how this works. You fight all the best in the world. He just won the title. He looks like a guy who could be one of the all-time greats. You got to clean out that division, and once you do, then you start figuring out what's next. How do I challenge myself? And if Conor McGregor, I don't know if we ever see Conor McGregor at 145 pounds again. If you had told me right here, right now, tell me if you think it'll never. I don't think it ever happens, but Everybody wants to fight Conor.
He's kept saying at any weight, so obviously I'm sure Conor probably has other ideas of his return. But another Irishman on this card, Ian Garry, didn't really have a nice performance, pretty listless by most regards. What do you make of his performance tonight?
What do you mean by listless?
Just judging by the crowd's reaction and the way the fight unfolded.
So what do you mean? Talk to me. What did you hate about that fight?
Just
what? Oh, he's back there. Hey, Ian. This guy thinks your fight sucked tonight. He wants to know my opinion on your fight sucking tonight. So what are you asking me about the fight?
I wanted to get your reaction to the performance because I know you put a lot of weight into what the crowd thinks about the fight. So just wanted to get your.
Well, I listen. The crowd came in and paid and broke the all-time California record, the gate record, and things like that. But it was a great card, and to say that his fight wasn't a good fight. Well, it might not have been a great fight compared to the rest of the night with the card, but. When you talk about bad cards, Toronto was a bad card. Toronto, I owe you another one. We'll try to do better next time. But I wouldn't say that listen, they put on an unbelievable performance tonight, like knock down, drag him out, war, and win a fight? No, it wasn't Whittaker or Costa, but he won the fight.
And lastly, UFC 300, now that we have an official main event, what is the co-main event going to be?
The co-main event is the other championship fight on the card.
Thank you.
Yep.
Dana back here.
Yep.
One note, can you walk us through how things came together to switch between the Taffa brothers for the Marcos Rogerio fight?
What do you mean? One fell out, the other one came in.
Straight up? Did you text him, call him, paperwork that fast?
One out, one in. Didn't have to change any of the marketing, didn't have to change the posters, didn't have to do anything.
Finally, Miranda Maverick opened up the card with a victory. Obviously, up-and-comer. Just what were your thoughts on that performance to open up this big event?
Yeah, I mean, for a, to win against a tough veteran like she did, awesome. Unanimous decision, but yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Dana, down here to your right. To your right, down.
Hey.
Topuria changed his Instagram bio earlier this week to say 15-0 UFC world champion before the fight ever happened. He goes out there and does that. I mean, what does that say about him and his confidence level?
He definitely believes in himself. That's definitely putting yourself out there. You could call that a lot of things. Manifesting, cocky, whatever you want to call it. He made it a reality. He came out and did it tonight in spectacular fashion against the guy who is the best ever in the division. Which is saying something, considering the fact that Max is in that division too.
You have Topuria this month, and then next month is O'Malley and Cheeto Vera, and O'Malley is a 20-something champion. Is this like the next generation kind of coming up in those weight classes? Would you say? Yeah,
I mean, if you look at both guys, I mean, Topuria is an absolute stud, man. I mean, the way that he looked tonight, and Volk started to turn it up, and they started trading, and that fight really started to heat up, and he finished the fight. Yeah, this kid's special. There's no doubt about it. And then obviously, the Miami card. This card's awesome. The Miami card's awesome. And then 300 from the first fight of the night to the main event. It's a great card.
Do you see stardom from both those guys, Topuria and O'Malley, not just being great fighters, but also being ticket sellers, pay-per-view sellers?
100%. And anytime that you get a guy that can bring us to another market, it's always fun, you know? Yeah, if you look, we've been doing this for like 23 years now, never been to Spain. This will be our first time ever putting on a UFC event in Spain. How fun do you think that's going to be?
Last thing, what do you got in that cup there? Is that secret juice? You can be honest.
Yeah, no, it's an energy drink. It's a monster.
Thanks, Dana.
Thank you.
Hey, Dana. In 7 UFC fights, Alex Pereira has become a double champion, headlined Madison Square Garden twice, now headlining UFC 300. Like, can you put into perspective just how big this guy is?
Yeah, and how fast he did it in such a short amount of time. 2 different weight classes, a guy coming from basically one style and being able to accomplish what he's accomplished here. Obviously, it was super impressive when Izzy did it, and now this guy did it even faster and in 2 different weight classes.
You know, that fight's a little while away, but, you know, Jamal coming back from Achilles injury, which is devastating for athletes.
Yep.
How do you see that fight kind of going down?
I don't know. It's going to be. I'm friends with Kelsey Plum. Do you know who she is from the WNBA? She had the same injury. She came back and won MVP and won a national title. You know, and he's been going to the PI. She recovered. He's good.
Last 2 for me. Was Conor McGregor ever an option for UFC 300?
No.
And then lastly, I was just wondering if you would give a hint on who Leon Edwards was offered, those 3 opponents.
I'll call you later.
Can I have one question?
Get over here.
Yeah.
So at the Power Slap press conference, you mentioned that the UFC 300 main event was in the works and another fight. So now we know Pereira and Jamal are going to headline 300. So do we have an update on that other fight that you said was remaining to be confirmed?
We got one more to make. Yeah. No.
Okay. And similar to that video they were asking about earlier, at UFC 200, we saw a special colored canvas for that event. Do you think we'll see the same for UFC 300?
Probably, yeah.
For sure.
I haven't even thought about that yet.
Hopefully. But you also signed Kayla Harrison not too long ago. I know it's a signing that a lot of fans wanted to see a while ago, but now it's finally coming to fruition. So what is your take on that signing?
Yeah, I think that when you've accomplished as much as you've accomplished outside the UFC as she has, come in here. Not just her, MVP, and you know, you've seen others do it, and you know, when you get here, it's a whole nother level. So I think it's going to be great for them to finally get in here and compete against the best in the world.
And like you said, MVP as well, Kayla Harrison. So given the situation that the other promotions have had as of late and everything, have you guys had conversations with other guys or girls from the other promotions?
What do you mean, as far as
like maybe
them sucking and not selling any tickets or stuff? What are you asking me?
No. Fighters that may be looking for home or something. I know some guys don't have their divisions in the other promotions.
They don't have other divisions?
There's some like fighters that don't have their respective divisions in those other promotions with the merger.
Yeah, listen. If you're part of a shitty promotion that nobody watches and nobody buys any tickets for, and you want to get out of there and people watch, we'll probably see you someday.
Last couple.
I don't know what you're asking me, but I hope that answered your question.
All right, and last one's from me. Daniel Cormier said in the lead up to this fight that this whole build up from Topuria with this cockiness or arrogance or confidence, whatever you may want to call it, kind of reminiscent to McGregor when he was coming up. So do you agree with that statement? And did you
Who said that?
Daniel Cormier.
I don't know. What are you asking me?
Like if you agree with that, just.
Can I have a question?
So Daniel Cormier said he's cocky and arrogant like Conor. And you're asking me if I agree with that?
No, just saying, like, he said that it reminds him a lot of that McGregor build-up when he was making his way onto the big stage and everything.
I don't know. What do you think?
I think so. I mean,
you agree?
I agree.
Quote him on that one, not me.
Dana. Thank you, Dana.
Yeah, thank you. Do you have it?
Dana over here.
Yeah.
Henry Cejudo said that he would retire if he didn't win tonight. The gloves were off. He didn't get to go on the mic after the fight. What's his status? And
that I have no idea. Listen, Merab was in a position where he wouldn't fight his friend. You know how we love that here when you won't do that. So, you know, I haven't been thrilled with Merab. I don't like that attitude. You fight everybody, you do whatever. Merab went in there tonight and he beat the former champion, Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo already retired, okay? He did the whole drop the gloves thing. Tonight was Merab's night. Merab went in there, he fought the number 3 guy in the world, former world champion. He won easily, won the fight. Tonight was Merab's night. If he wants to retire again, he could do that here or somewhere else. You don't give the mic to Cejudo tonight. Tonight was Merab's night. Yep.
Dana, right here. While we're on the topic of other promotions, BKFC's head David Feldman spoke very highly of you, called you an ally. Heard from Mike Perry that there was some sort of offer to buy the promotion. Can you give any life to that claim or any possible talent exchange that might be in the works?
I like that guy too. He's a nice guy. First time we met, absolutely no truth in that whatsoever.
Any truth to the rumors about possible talent exchange?
No.
Thank you.
Okay.
Dana, you mentioned that now you guys have the option to, but you also have prioritize these new markets because at this point you have multiple places to go with multiple new champions. And does Spain suddenly leapfrog South Africa and the whole African continent trying to put that together?
We're going there too.
Just a matter of time. I mean, you know, people have been anticipating.
No, yes, we'll go. We're going. You're brilliant. You're fucking brilliant. Yeah. Great question. That's the answer.
Right over here, Dana.
Yes, sir.
With regard to Conor McGregor, what is the holdup with his return?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, the Ultimate Fighter was over back in August, and I can't imagine the plan was for him to be out as long as he's been.
Well, the first problem was that he broke that shin bone. He was recovering from that. That was one of the reasons we had it on. The other problem is he's fucking rich.
And how does that present an issue to you with negotiations?
What do you mean?
Well, I'll ask, does Conor McGregor...
Conor McGregor doesn't need money.
So are we at a point here where Conor McGregor may never fight for the UFC? Can you say that?
If you had shitloads of money, would you be sitting here right now asking me this fucking question?
No.
No, you would not. That just answered your question.
Well, I answered no. So you're saying there's a chance that Conor McGregor will not fight again for the UFC?
I don't know. Conor McGregor's got a lot of money. And, you know, anytime we get Conor, we'll be happy to, you know, be thrilled when he comes and fights. But money complicates a lot of things. He just filmed a movie. He's got to do the press for the movie, and he's got obligations with that. And he does want to fight this year, but we'll see what happens.
Is part of the issue that Conor...
That's the only issue.
Is there an issue,
There's no other issue. That's it.
Wanting to re-sign him to a longer contract?
Conor McGregor has probably been one of the best business partners we've ever had. Doing business with Conor is... Getting Conor to show up to shit on time is a problem. But Conor, as far as the business goes, for a guy... Everybody talks about how Conor used to be on the dole and all this stuff. For a guy that was on the dole, Conor McGregor is a very good businessman. And Conor McGregor's always been a great partner to us. There's never any... hanging out and haggling for money or, you know, you pay me more money. Conor McGregor has never done anything even remotely close to that. It's the exact opposite. When it's time to dig in and get to work and you know, make money, he's probably the most incredible partner we've ever had, to be honest with you.
All right, and I have one last question. With regard to Wanderlei Silva, it was 10 years ago where you said he wasn't going to go into the UFC Hall of Fame, and you said the guy's been Pete Rosed. So I'm just curious, you know, what has changed? You know, what went into changing your mind there? You're not really somebody to change your mind on a stance like that.
Yeah, I've been in so many beefs with so many people that I didn't even remember that till you just told me.
You said there's going to be no Hall of Fame. The guy's been Pete Rosed. This was after he left, and
it's a good thing I forgot.
Critical.
It's a good thing I forgot.
It's a good thing you forgot.
Exactly.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Huh? Good? Good night. Go ahead, sir. What's up?
I talked with the Merab today, and he said that he could fight next month. Is this possible to Merab back of the UFC 299 main event?
Yeah.
He talked to Merab, and he said that Merab didn't no injuries or anything. He could be fit. He's fresh to fight next month. Is it a possibility he's a backup?
Got it. Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I don't know if we already have one, but I don't know. Definitely.
How about Umar Nurmagomedov?
What about Umar Nurmagomedov?
What about him?
What about Umar? Yeah.
To be a backup?
Yeah.
To back up.
Yeah.
I think Umar's got to fight. But yeah, he could be a backup too.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Well, Merab, congratulations on your victory. Obviously, a very impressive performance. I guess first, just give us thoughts on your victory.
Thank you so much. I put so much work in, and I was very comfortable today. And I just go there and just have a fun. You know, I had fun, and now I'm here with you guys.
Nice. The strategy coming in, interesting. I don't know if anybody expected you to come out throwing spinning kicks off the top. Was that part of the game plan or something you just felt in the moment? What was that?
Wasn't part of the game plan. I'm a complete MMA fighter, you know, and I was working with every technique in the gym. Like I said before, I was focused on myself, not for Olympic wrestling or specific wrestling, grappling. You know, of course I train everything. We've been training everything, but not specifically this. But you know, he's lucky that I don't learn this.
It felt like maybe he had some success early, but you kind of dominated the latter stages. Did you need to make any adjustments, or do you feel like he maybe tired a little bit, or what do you think the difference was early versus late?
I think I'm getting better every rounds. You know, if it was 5 rounds, I'm sure you guys all can imagine what's gonna happen, right? So yeah, I mean, I guess I don't warm up good first round. I mean, before, I guess I don't warm up in the locker room good. So next time I go with I'll do with 2 hard rounds, and I come and I will continue better rounds. Yeah.
Nice. It was on the opposite side of the cage as the media, so we couldn't see. But were you talking to Zuckerberg? Were you talking to what was going on that you were talking over there?
Yes. Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg, we became friends in social media. He's been supporting me and send a positive message each other. And he did text me a couple of days ago. He will be at the fights, but he tell me don't tell no one. Like it's keep a secret. I keep a secret, of course. And I know he was there. And as soon as I go there, I saw him and say hi. And good to see you finally in person. And after during the rounds, he was calling me times, 30 seconds left, and he was coaching me. You know? He was my 4th corner tonight. So and then like just conversation like this, just and then when I got him, actually the choke was tight, but I get too excited. I was looking Mark Zuckerberg, and I had too much fun, and maybe I should focus to finish. But you know, I'm just fighting. I'm free. That's how what we do, and yeah, that was like fun, good, positive conversation.
Dana confirmed that you are next, as if there was any choice to be made, but he said it. So what does it mean for you knowing that your next fight is for a UFC title?
That means that I'm fighting for the belt, and I have another challenge. That's only goal I have now: fight for the title and win the belt. I believe myself. I'm only getting better, as you guys see. You know, every fight looks so much easier. And really tonight, I wasn't even really breathing. I wasn't really even like heavy, I was very comfortable. And yeah, this is only beginning, you know. I have so many years left of me because I live healthy lifestyle, and I change little things in my life for be full-time fighter and just training hard, training smart, and I'm just grinding, and I'm just blessed, and yeah. So now, yeah, I'll be ready. I can make weight in 5 days, and no problem. You know, if they need a replacement, I will be there. If not, then I will enjoy my time, and I will just training like I always training, and I will face whoever will be champion.
Nice. Last thing for me, I know this night is about your accomplishment, but for Georgia, a very special night, I guess. What did it mean for you to see, what you did and then what Ilia did as well?
Today is historic for country Georgia. All country was up. They wake up early. All the restaurant was booked, and the stadiums, the people watching in, like, everywhere. Like they are in the streets now. They are celebrating. As you guys see, there like so many Georgians came here, arena, and flags was everywhere. And my country are proud. We have a first Georgian UFC champion. It means a lot, and my country was always supporting me. And I want to tell them thank you so much, and I will just continue hard work to make them proud, and I will give a good example and motivation young people. Doesn't matter where you're coming from, you come from farmers family like me, and then if you work hard work will pay off, and everything is possible. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. All goes.
What sort of things was Zuckerberg advising you on? Was he telling you how to adjust your grip? Was he telling you to maybe go slower? What exactly sort of things was he advising you on?
Yeah, he was giving me some tips, but over there when I was fighting, it's like a good music. When you're running and you hear good music, and okay. I don't really remember exactly now when I look, but that time it was nice. And he was coaching me.
If he fights Elon, will you be in his corner?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I will be his corner even if he fights my coach. Big John Wood here.
Hey, Merab.
Sorry, John.
On media day, you said that you said Henry has better wrestling than you, but tonight you took him down, you controlled him. Do you still feel that way?
No, I mean if we go wrestling rules, I'm sure he's better wrestler than me. But it's MMA, it's a punch, shoot, and adrenaline, and you see the arena and a cage. We have the wall. It's different, man. It's sport. This is different sport, and I respect wrestling. But like now, when I watch wrestling, it's too boring. They change rules. You push outside, it's 1 point, like something like this, But MMA, it's a real takedown, a punch, and mix it up,
Jose Aldo, Peter Yan, Henry Cejudo are the last three guys you beat. I mean,
yes,
it's just an amazing run you're on, correct?
Yes, thank you so much. And I win all unanimous decision. It wasn't like split decision or something. Yeah. Yeah, how I dominate Peter Yan, like you guys see, you guys, a lot of people think that O'Malley lost the fight, right? So yeah, I'm only getting better. I'm training so hard, and I'm putting a lot of work in. So as you guys see now.
And then finally, obviously, O'Malley and Cheeto are fighting next month. I just want your prediction. And who would you like to be fighting? Who would you like to fight for the title? I'm guessing it's O'Malley, but does it matter?
I want to fight O'Malley because I was calling him since 2018, and he's champion now. I wish he will keep the belt and I can fight him. And I want to take his belt, and I see today he was wearing nice jacket, white jacket. So I wanted this white jacket.
How did it feel to be the fan favorite inside the arena, Merab? I know, like, when you fought Aldo, the fans weren't necessarily on your side, but tonight it was a whole different story.
Yes. Yeah, actually, I feel the support everywhere I go. Like, the people always asking me, go fight O'Malley, go fight for the belt, I feel everywhere, and this means a lot for me, and just I'm more humble, and I mean, thank you for all my fans.
I'm not sure if someone told you, but right outside this media tent, there was like a huge group of Georgian fans jumping around in circles and singing. So I guess how does that feel for you when you hear something like that?
Man, just proud, man. Like, I was one of the guy who was cheering and support our Olympic champions, and I was one of the kid, and I was so happy when Georgia was successful in the sports, and now all these Georgians, immigrants, some people fly, especially from Georgia or other countries to support me, and of course this is big moment, and yeah, I'm just happy to be UFC fighter, and just do what I love to do.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Merab, right here.
Yes.
Forgive me if this is a retread at all, but
Yes.
just now that Aljamain Sterling is fighting at featherweight, you have this title shot coming up. Can you speak to just how difficult it might have been mentally, emotionally to sit there and be so close to that title shot, and just not getting it for whatever reasons?
No, nothing, man. I'm a fighter. Aljo was always booked, and he had fights. And then I was his training camp, training with him. I had fights, and yeah, I mean, if we say let's go, we fight, or some maybe before, but it's worked out better, as you see now. I will get in my title fight, and it's worked out good, I knew that Aljo said, he had like 2 more fights left, and he was gonna go up, but after Henry Cejudo's fight, yeah, they push him to fight O'Malley like quick, and we know Aljo cuts a lot of weight and stuff, but it's all good, man. I'm like, see, like now everybody knows, then yeah, like now it's okay, now we're good, I'm sure, but now it comes tricky, I know how good Aljo is, and he will do very well in 145, but my other brother Ilia Topuria is champion, and now like I know Aljo will be #1 contender soon, and I don't want to him fight Ilia, so we'll see. It's a fight, and it's all love and all respect.
Well, just for fun, how would you see that hypothetical fight going?
Which Ilia, I forgive you this question, my friend.
Thank you, congrats.
No problem.
Just a quick one for me, Merab. Amazing performance. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Regardless of who you fight in the future, we know you're going to be the top guy, challenging for the belt. Doesn't matter the opponent. How exciting is it that potentially you have Ilia representing Georgia, and you could potentially also be a champ in Georgia, and 2 Georgia champions 2024?
Very big for our country, We are warriors, but to be UFC champion, this is special thing, man. This is something special. As we know, like to become UFC champion, this is like dream. I don't even dream for this. I'm just working so hard, and then I'm going step by step, and when I will fight hard, and I gotta make sure I can have this opportunity, and hopefully I can win belt for my country and my support and my people, and for my legacy and my family, and this means everything for me. I cannot even talk loud about this, but I'm working so hard for it.
Excellent. Well, great job, great work. Good job, sir.
Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for all my support around the world. I love you guys. I'm only getting better, and let's go on fighting for the belt next. But I'm very happy, and thank God, and God is good. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Ian, congratulations on your victory. I know you got to walk in to hear some potential criticism of it, but what are your initial thoughts after the fight?
I mean, firstly, that's ridiculous. 7-0 in the UFC, the second person ever to go 7-0 in the welterweight division, the current longest active win streak in welterweight. What was listless about it, out of curiosity, from your point of view? Footwork, speed, elusivity. If Jeff Neal was running at you swinging bombs, what would you do? You'd fucking run. Do you know what I mean? Like, that dude hits like a truck. My job is to make him miss in the counter. My job is to upset his rhythm, upset his footwork, and find avenues to take advantage of his mistakes. That was the best Jeff Neal we've seen today. He didn't bite on feints. He didn't bite on reactions as well as he normally did. And he hits like a truck. Do you know what I mean? The truth is, he slowed the fight down and grappled because he wasn't happy with the striking he was having. He slowed the fight down and tried to grapple and take me down. Another person who couldn't. And the truth is, my speed and my accuracy and my footwork, it just tricks people. And they're just on the end of my rope, and I just pull them in and I take advantage of them. So, look, say what you want, have whatever opinion you want. My hand got raised. I'm breaking records again. I'm doing what I do, and I'm still not done. I've got so much time to go. So, yeah.
Are you happy with it? I mean, are you happy with the way it turned out? Because, you're saying, hey, it was a win, and I don't care what you say, but like, as you said, he was maybe more difficult. I think you had a lot of respect for him, but I think he was maybe even more difficult than you thought he would be tonight.
If I got dropped 14 times in a round and still managed to win, I'd still be happy with myself. My job is to get my hand raised. If I went out there and got beaten for 14 minutes and I knocked him out, I'm still happy I got my hand raised. I am my harshest critic. I will go back and I will watch the fight. I know I wish I was able to set up a bit more kicks and make the fluidity of the combinations what I normally see, but the truth is, if you crack Jeff Neal or you take an inch too much, he's going to put you unconscious, and you have to respect that. There isn't many people in the welterweight division that possess the power he has in that hand. So you got to respect it. You got to give it the time it deserves, and you got to find that way to find that success. I mean, he started leaning. I started making him lean. Do you see those knees to the face? I'm fucking surprised he took some of them. Do you know what I mean? He ate 2 or 3 clean. And that was because I'm making him reach. That's because of my disc control, my footwork. I am such an intelligent fighter that if I go out there for 15 minutes, I can fight for 2 more rounds. I can fight for 25 minutes. I can do it clean. I can do it like amazingly. And I can do it and not take a hell of a lot of damage. That's the most important thing. I want to be active. I want to continue to fight. If I go out there and let Jeff Neal hit me 40 times, chances are I'm not going to be able to turn around quite quickly, right? I can. Give me 2 or 3 weeks off. I'm going on holiday for you with my family now. I'm going to rest, recover, go have some sun, some beach. And then we'll try book that Kobe date next. You know what I mean? That's what I want next. So let's make it happen.
Outside of the fight itself, what did you think of Fight Week? I mean, you're flipping off the crowd and telling them, I don't care if you boo me. I mean, you're kind of embracing, I guess, people disliking you, but is that hard for you? I mean, I can't imagine, like, you come in saying, I don't want people to like me. I don't want fans. I want to get booed. I mean, is that difficult for you?
I don't care what people love me or hate me. I'm doing what I love. I'm a kid who had a dream, and I'm up here living it. Do you know what I mean? I watched Conor go through everything that he went through, and I just want to. That's what the life I want to live. I want to put on a show. I want to fight for a living. I want to travel the world and train with the best coaches in the world, the best teammates on the planet. And I'm living my dream. And there's no one that can wipe that smile off my face. And there's still nobody in the world that can take that O off me. And I'm going to keep proving that. And whether they love me or hate me, whether they cheer, they boo. If my hand gets raised, I'm still going to become a world champion, whether they like it or not.
Last thing for me. When you came into the UFC, you said, look, I'm not in a rush. I'm building myself here. But, where you stand now, and you're talking about Colby Covington, who's right up at the top of the division. I mean, you get that fight and get that win. Are we talking about world title fights at that point?
No, I want to earn it. I really want to earn it so that people don't say it's listless and it's undeserved. I think it's ridiculous that people say we rush up the ladder. For me, I never want that on my career. That's my 3rd top 15 guy. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to beat Colby Covington like we've never seen before. And then I want a top 3 opponent, someone who's in that title contention, because the truth is Colby's biggest claim to fame is he's fought for 3 world titles and he's lost all 3. He's not as good as people think he is. You get beaten by a young, talented, up-and-coming prospect, one of the best we've ever seen, you don't come back from that. And the truth is, I'll match him pace on cardio. I'll match him for output. He doesn't possess anywhere near the power Jeff Neal does. He has great wrestling. Cool. Put me on my back. I'm training with Damian Maia. See what happens if you put me on my back. I'll choke him unconscious. I promise you, I will end that fight. I'll finish that fight and I'll rid the UFC of Colby Covington for once and for all. Like, he needs to be gone. I'm sick of his nonsense. He's a piece of shit.
Here. Just kind of going off that, you laid up the upside of a Colby fight in terms of ranking and all that stuff pretty well, but the flip side of it is we know the type of things he's going to say and what he's going to do to build the fight. It seems like, given just where you've gone mentally in the past few months, is that something you would embrace, be ready for, dread?
Let him write his script. Let him do the panto. Let him do the act. Let him do everything. I'm going to get to punch him in the face. He can talk about me, my wife, my family, my kids. He can talk about whatever he wants. He gets the pass because he's going to sign the contract. As long as he shows up and be's a man, I will punch the mouth off him, and I hope I hit him so hard he's never able to speak again.
And you said earlier this week, got a little bit of backlash from the comment about maybe being too big to headline in Ireland, and I think maybe people didn't understand.
They
what you
took
were
that the wrong way.
Yeah, do you just kind of want to explain, and maybe people who didn't understand that?
What I mean is that I don't want to become too highly ranked and too important for the UFC to not put on pay-per-views. I want to bring the UFC back to Ireland. I've got my fucking my bleeding Paddy's Day dunks on. Like, I'm trying to get the UFC back to Dublin. I'm trying to do it. But the truth is, I'm fighting on the biggest cards in the world. I'm fighting the next best guy. And I'm moving. And I need the UFC to help me bring them back. What I mean by getting too big is I don't want to become the world champion. And then the UFC go, yeah, you're fighting in America. You're fighting in the biggest stadiums. Ireland doesn't have a stadium big enough for it. And if they couldn't fucking do it with Conor McGregor, then the chances are they're probably not going to do it with anyone ever again. Do you know what I mean? So, like, people took that the wrong way. I think everyone got what I meant, and the people that didn't just ran with it. So, thank you for helping me.
Ian, right here.
What's up, sir? How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Congratulations. Ian, obviously there's been so much going back to, last November, December, and your family being at the center of it. Can you just talk a little bit about those conversations at home and just having that support and strength to get through everything and all that outside noise that has been going on in the media?
My wife has a smile on her face tonight. My little boy is at home in bed asleep. We go to Bahia on holiday on the weekend. Nothing that is said online or by people who are completely irrelevant matters to me or my family. There was a time at which it did hurt, and there was a time at which it did sting to have people, and still to this day it still stings. But the truth is, we're living our dream, we're traveling the world, we're happy, and we're proud of what we do as parents, as a couple, as soulmates. People can talk all the shit in the world. At the end of the day, my hand's getting raised, my wife is happy, my kids are happy, my family's doing amazing things, and I keep winning. So unless any of that changes, I'm not changing a single thing. If there's a reason that you don't love me later, then maybe we'll talk. But until you keep smiling, we're going to keep running with it.
And then can you walk me through a little bit? You're in the back, you're obviously getting ready. You know the crowd is probably going to make some noise again when you get out there. Just what's going through your mind when you finally go through that curtain?
I had a little cry backstage like I always do, pulled my team close, prayed with them, let out all the emotions before I went on my journey. Let it all out, let the tears flow. Thank the Lord for the power I possess, the ability I possess. Asked him to give me his speed, and boy did he give it to me. I was fast tonight, I was elusive tonight. The amount of videos you could chop up of Jeff swinging and missing tonight is impressive. I'm just very grateful to have the people around me I have, to be able to make the walk so actively and so consistently. The truth is, had I not gotten pneumonia, I would have fought fucking 5-6 times in the last 12 months. There isn't people like me in this sport that's active. I'm going to turn around and make this Kobe fight as soon as I possibly can on the biggest card I can. And after that, I'm going to go towards the end of the year and get another big opponent. I've done too many fights that people can't keep up. I'm 7-0 in the UFC. Do you know, the second guy ever to go 7-0 after Kamaru Usman. So say what you want about my performances, say what you want about me, the speed, the power, the intelligence, everything is there. And I'm just going to keep that proving that I am right, that I'm going to get that belt wrapped around me, I'm going to do it my way, and I'm going to have a smile on my face when it gets there. Appreciate you.
Ian, just curious, whose idea was it to use Layla as a walkout song tonight?
Layla has been my walkout song for the last 4 or 5 songs now, 4 or 5 fights. And the reason behind it is because I love that woman. And when I fight, it's to make sure that she knows that I love her and everything's going to be okay. And I'm going to go out there and I got that. But more than ever tonight, it meant so much to know that I'm playing her song to all these fucking dickheads in the stands who are booing her and saying shit. Truth is, she's the only person that matters in that stadium at that time. I want to put a smile on her face, and I love her. She's my wife. I've got a name tattooed on my body. She's the mother of my child. I don't care what people have to say. She's got a smile on her face. She enjoys the show. That's all that matters.
And last one from me, why didn't you go with the unplugged version?
I don't know. I like that one. I don't know. The guitar does differently. My favorite one is the acoustic version, but it ain't got the
energy,
the oomph for a walkout song. But I like that one a lot. I think maybe talk to the UFC about the unplugged version. Maybe that's on them with the rights. I appreciate you.
Hey, Ian.
What's up?
In case Colby turns you down.
He doesn't have a choice. He doesn't have a choice. He's lost 3 title fights. He doesn't have a choice. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but there is no other fucking option for him. Who else are they going to put? He's not going to sign to fight grapplers, that's for sure. He's not going to fight Wonderboy Thompson. Do you know what I mean? What's the point of putting them two together? He's going to do what he's fucking told, and he's going to fight a young up-and-coming prospect so I can fucking take him out of the division, wipe him off the top 15, and the UFC can go, great, right, that's been great. Let's take that and run with it. Now ask questions, sorry.
That's all good. He has a history of turning down fights. So if he does turn it down, like, are you open to fight a young prospect like a Jack Della, Sean Brady, Shavkat, or do you want like a Stephen Thompson Colby as someone who's fought for a title?
I am a fighter who says yes. I don't say no. I don't be picky. I say yes, where, when. That's it. The truth is, I call out who I want. Kobe's the biggest name in the division without a title. Going out and beating him does so much. He also, look, I might be talking shit about him. There's a lot of respect on his name from all the MMA community. Do you know what I mean? He wrestles hard, he puts output in fights, but he's just no way, he's not 1/10 of the fighter I am, and it's my job to go out there and prove that, and I would do that with a smile on my face. I don't believe he's in a position to be picking and choosing his fights now. If he wants to fight, he's going to do what he's told, and I'm sure Hunter and Dana will tell him that.
And then finally, there was a clip that came out today of you checking some fans that were talking about your wife.
Oh my God, he's a fucking dickhead. He said, "Get that crazy lady out of your car." I told the guy to stop the fucking car. Come over and say that to her face. He folded. He folded. People, honestly, it happened today. I'm not going to mention names or who it did. And I just was like, oi, down. When you put someone on the spot and you call them out for the shit they've said, they crumble. It's like you can see the masculinity in them go, oh, I fucked up and now he's going to hurt me. Like, it just changes. When you call people out, we've all seen it, whether it's a boss at work or, a child who knows they fucked up and they go, uh-oh, and they look at you. It's like, you can see it in people's eyes. When you call people out for the shit they say, you need to. Do you know what I mean? Justice is important. That guy needed it. He was a fucking arsehole. Sorry for my language.
Ian over here. Obviously, this fight week, you were kind of welcomed as like the villain of that fight. So are you going to embrace this role going forward, or is it just something that doesn't really cross your mind?
I couldn't care less. I have a smile on my face. I'm a happy, proud man. I don't care what people are saying. I don't care what the noise is. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to show up. I'm going to make weight. I'm going to fight. I'm going to get my hand raised. And that's all that matters to me, man. I genuinely can't get that across.
Vegas, Charlotte, Boston, MSG, now California. Which has been your favorite place and why?
Really, I genuinely love California. I think the weather, it's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's got the beach, it's got the green, I like golf, it's got some really good golf courses. It's just been a really, really calm, peaceful city to be in, and I'm very happy that we got to experience it. That's one thing that I love to do about traveling the world. I knew the travel would come, and now the success is coming, the travel's getting greater, and I get to experience many, many places and different cultures, and I love it.
And I saw that you had those dunks on. Are you a big shoe head or sneaker head or not?
I'm getting more into it. I'm getting my little collection on, but I'm getting there. I like them a lot. I need to get more knowledgeable on them though.
Congratulations.
Appreciate you, man.
Ian, as a fellow vegan, what is your post-fight celebratory meal looking like?
I'm going to go find a nice vegan pizza. I'm going to chill out. I'm going to eat it. The truth is, veganism has changed my game. It's given me the ability to be that fresh in the third round and keep that movement, keep that speed, and do everything I'm doing. So yeah, I'm going to keep running with it. I'm going to keep doing it. And I genuinely believe it means all the world to me for success. And the way in which I cut weight because of the vegan diet means that I'm more hydrated and I can take those shots from a Jeff Neal. I can absorb those shots and I can recover so quickly. And that's genuinely the most important thing to me. Health is everything.
Have you had any good vegan food here in LA? I know there's a lot of good spots here.
No, I had my nutritionist here, and he makes all my meals for me. He looks after me. He protects me. He makes sure that I've got the immune system during fight week when people normally get sick and they drop. Obviously, after the last fight, we had to make sure of that. But we just made sure that everything was spick and span, A1, and we just looked after ourselves and do what we do best. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Rob, congratulations. A very impressive victory against obviously a very dangerous opponent. So certainly banged up a little bit as you sit there, but how do you feel about the result and your performance overall?
Yeah, obviously I'm very happy with it. I always look like this after fights, like this show. Plus, I had a firefight with Costa, so it shows a little bit. I'm very, more than the win itself, I'm happy with, I don't know, I'm satisfied with what I wanted to achieve, and I achieved that.
It looked like you had your rhythm very early on. The timing, everything was everything was going your way, right? And then one shot nearly changes everything. I guess how difficult is that moving forward, mentally to know that that guy has the power to change everything in a second, even as I'm doing everything perfectly?
It was all right. I just brushed it off. We're in the fight game. There are. Sorry, I'm getting distracted.
Loud out there.
Yeah, we're in the fight game. There are moments, there are milliseconds that can change the outcome of the fight. You can't let off for a second, for a millisecond. And sometimes, as you said, you'll do everything right and he'll throw a Hail Mary spinning heel kick, capoeira kick, and it'll land. But I did brush it off. I want to highlight that.
Very nice. Listen, Dana was here earlier and he said, look, Rob's always in the title mix when we're talking about, performances like that. But there's a lot going on in the division right now. So are you thinking about that? Are you thinking about the title picture and what gets you there faster and things like that?
Definitely not, mate. I've been in this game for a long time. I understand the rules and how it's played. The only thing that I'm focusing on is myself, my career, my trajectory, my performances. That's the thing that I took away from this week and the pressures that I kind of put on myself this week and, the fight itself is just that, I've got a grip on the reins. I'm not about to take the foot off the pedal. I'm going to go home, spend some time with my new daughter and then just get straight back into it.
Love it. Now, that was kind of my last question for you is, I guess, what do you see? We know you always like to go home and have a little time with the family. So do you envision, fighting twice more this year, once more this year? What do you see as the plan?
Definitely. I'd definitely like to fight twice more. To be able to jump in again mid-year would be great for me. I want to keep fighting. Like I said, I don't want to take the foot off the pedal. I very much intend to go home to my family and spend some time with my new daughter and my kids and my wife. But mate, if I'm not spending time with them, what am I doing? I'm training. That's all I'm doing. So, yeah, if I'm training and it is. But I can't, I've got 5 kids, mate. I can't get anywhere near as much as time doing that as I want to.
Hey, Rob, is Strickland is that the most logical opponent for you next, do you think? Or are you kind of keeping your options open?
Options are definitely open. The middleweight division is funny. There's so much movement and fluidity in it and opportunity in it that any fight could be made at any time, anywhere. And honestly, UFC have always done right by me. I've never had to pick my opponents. They've always been laid out in front of me, and I'm not about to change the way I conduct business just now.
You get matched up with Sean. You said multiple times that, you come from the gaming world and those are the most toxic people around. So I'm sure Sean's trash talk's not going to get to you, right?
He's not that bad. He's not that bad. I don't know. He's kind of holistically angry at everybody. I don't think he singles anyone out unless you do something to him particularly. I find I feel like it would be hard for him to get a grip on something I've done, but there's trying.
How long did it take you to recover from that spinning wheel kick in that first round?
Mate, what kick? Don't know what you're talking about, mate.
Robert, I know you got the win for Australia, obviously, but Volkanovski didn't quite do that. And I just want to ask you, did you get to see his fight in the locker room or in the back, or what was your reaction to it?
I was getting pushed around a little bit in the back there at the time, but I did see the finish. And I saw snippets. I was trying to watch it whenever I was given a chance. Mate, Topuria's got good hands, very good hands. And, mate, Mate, that's the game we're in. That's the stakes. Fortunately, one man loses, one man wins. And he's been at the top of the game for so long. I don't count that Makhachev fight like with much weight because of the circumstances that were around it. But no, he's done so much work in that division.
And I know there was potential talks of this fight that just happened. It occurred a while ago on an Australia card, and unfortunately for you, it couldn't happen. You couldn't compete on that card. So is the goal for you this year to compete in Australia again, or is that just something that...
Oh, definitely. If there's a card in Australia, I'm jumping on it. You know, I've got a fight in now, so I don't know when it would be, but it would make sense for me to wait for it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Rob over here. Correct me if I'm mistaken, is this your first time fighting in California?
It is, it is.
How did you enjoy the experience with us out here?
Mate, the crowd were wild. Absolutely wild. Even at the press conference and the weigh-ins, like they were wild. And I've fought a lot of places, and I've got to say, this is up there, top two. Top two.
I think sometimes fans don't realize it. Is that extra boost of energy when you're out there in the cage, even though you're trying to focus on everything, when you hear such an excited crowd out there?
Mate, when I'm in the octagon itself, I don't really hear much. I think I hear the ahs and oohs when you land shots, but it really does become background noise because, I don't know, in my fight it was happening every 10 seconds. There was a lot of ahs and oohs.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey Rob, over here.
Where are we?
I was getting texts and that from friends back in like New York saying they were watching in bars and people screamed for you when you came out in the bars. I've seen people at other shows wearing Reaper t-shirts and Reaper gear, even over here in the States. What do you think it is about yourself that makes you so popular, even over here, like away from your home country?
I think a big thing is that people can tell fake, and I'm not fake. What you see is what you get, and another thing I believe is I don't try to be likable. You know, I don't try to make people like me. You either like what you see or you don't. And I understand there are heaps of people on the other side of the fence, but I just mind my own business, keep to myself, and try to put on exciting fights for everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Alex, all class as always. I mean, clearly, obviously not the result you wanted tonight, but I guess as you're processing things, we saw the pain of the last one that you had to process. As you sit there tonight, what's the feeling like?
Oh yeah, no, like that was totally different. You know what I mean? This one, I was high spirits the whole way. I'm still in high spirits. It's. He caught me. That's that. I felt good in there. I felt like I seen everything early. You know what I mean? But he ended up catching me. I was pretty comfortable in the first round, and then we started being like, we'll start to do more. I was just about to do more, and he caught me. So it's just a game. I'm pretty confident we'll probably up until then, but that's the game.
The opening round, it looked like you were having some success. I mean, were things playing out exactly as you saw him? Was there anything he did that was, maybe he was a little faster than you thought, or maybe he was a little better? Was there anything in there that surprised you?
No, because we knew it would be fast. We knew it would be powerful, obviously. We knew not to be on the cage there and let him catch her there. So, again, he did, he did a great job there. So there's not much I can say other than congrats to him. But, obviously, I've been a champ for a long time, and I want that rematch. So that's something that it needs to happen. So, I've been reigning champ for how long? I've been a bit of a company man. I've backed up on short notice and fought Max 3 times. You name it, I've done it, and I've been champ for a long time. So I think I deserve that, and it's going to be different next time.
Yeah, Dana was here earlier tonight. He said you're clearly the greatest featherweight of all time, so I don't think that changes. But, I think the talk coming into this was like the only concern was, your greatness is known. Mm-hmm. Is he turning around too fast, right? There was the knockout 4 months ago. Is there a physical element? Is there something that's going to be
man, you can't take anything away from Topuria. If he puts a hand on you like that, you're going to go down. I don't care how, that's just that. That was a clean right hand. And I think no matter who you are, you let one of those land on your chin while you're caught there, you're probably going down. Don't let him catch you. That's what that was. You know what I mean? So he caught me. So I won't take nothing away from him. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit there and say it was this or was that. I felt great. Camp was great. I felt good in there. Like I said, I seen everything he threw. I thought, I knew he would be fast and powerful, but I was seeing everything. You know what I mean? There's not much big shots he landed before then. Like in his calf kicks, he was landed a couple of those, but I'm pretty durable, so I'm all good with that. So I was able to keep the weight on there, but yeah.
Last thing for me, you said in the cage, hey, let's go to Spain, let's do the rematch there. Would you want it? I know how often you like to fight, so would you turn right around if he wants to do it in 3 or 4 months?
Look, it's got nothing to do about being active. I want that rematch. It's just the rematch, you know what I mean? So that's my goal. You know what I mean? Obviously, I always talk about, we're active. I don't care about any of that. I just want a rematch, and I don't care where that is, but I want the rematch.
I guess what I was asking, would you prefer time at home with the family first, or do you want, if it's his next fight?
Oh yeah, we go home. You spend time with the family. Look, he just won the belt. I'm not expecting every champion to be as active as me. You know what I mean? So let's be real. He just won the belt. He's going to go back, celebrate. I'm sure he'll celebrate big. They usually take a bit of time till their next fight after they take a belt. So, whenever we'll leave that up to him. We'll see when that Spain card is. And did anyone mention a Spain date? Not yet.
They said Spain
later in the year or something,
about
right?
Going to Spain.
Well, there you go. You know what I mean? It'll be massive. I said I wanted to take him out, and then I would have headlined it. But now maybe I'm headlining as a challenger.
Volk, just wondered back here, wondering, the whole old man Volk really took a life of its own. Yeah. Fans showed up in costume today to cheer you on. Can you just speak to the fan reception to you out here in California this week?
Oh man, it's been incredible. The love from the fans. For the last couple of times I've been in crowds, it's just been unreal. You know what I mean? So obviously appreciate every single one of them, and thank you for turning up. Sorry I didn't get the job done.
Alex, obviously it's still really fresh and stuff, but going into a rematch with Ilia, how do you think it would be different? How would you approach it differently? I'm sure on his end, he's going to be way more confident, and there's going to be way more doubt on you, which I know you thrive off. But what are your immediate thoughts?
Yeah, man, look, you can't give too much away, but it's pretty obvious. You don't want to be caught in front of him, especially on the cage, you know what I mean? And so that's, I'll leave it at that. But there's definitely things that we could capitalize. Look, I wanted to start to do more. I was about to start, bringing all the disciplines in, you know what I mean? But he caught me before I did that. I was like, all right, now I've got it. Now I can start adding some things onto it. And I think he ended up catching a couple of them. I was all right, and then but it was just enough to get me on the back to the fence, and one right down the pipe, right on the chin. You know what I mean? You get a big, powerful puncher like that, put one on your chin while you're stuck there. That's what's going to happen. So, again, credit to him, but that won't happen again.
Alex, I just want to ask you about Ilia's confidence, right? You've seen it. He's been confident forever. He was ultra confident. How much do you think that played into the fight at all? Do you think that it helped him any more? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I mean, being confident is going to definitely help him not get too, emotional, or when things are, because he was, finding it hard to find me early. Obviously with guys like Emmett, he was able to just land the jab whenever he wanted and things like that. He was finding it hard. But he didn't crumble under that. So maybe that's when the confidence can definitely help you. So if you are really confident in your skill, I think again he's a good dude. He's just playing. I don't know if he's playing the game or what it is, but yeah, look, he's confident young fella. And hey, so he's got every right now, right? I can't say much other than congratulations, it worked out. That's a tough game you got to play when you want to go down that route. And it worked out for him tonight. So it's just going to make a massive rematch in Spain by the looks of it.
Obviously, you didn't break the over 35 curse that's been talked about. So next time going into the rematch, are you going to dye your beard gray? What are you going to?
We're still going to run that, old man, Volk. Don't worry about that. That's here to stay. You know what I mean? Are we in Hollywood too? Maybe get some Hollywood acting up in here as well. Any connections? What do you reckon?
And finally for me, I just wanted to, what was the idea to bring Zuckerberg to walk you out?
He was coming to watch. Obviously, everyone knows I'm mates with him. I have chats with him regularly. He said he was coming to the event. I'm like, hey, would love to have you come walk out, you know what I mean? And he goes, if it's not going to get in the way, it ain't getting in the way. Would love that, and he did. So I appreciated that. Something different, eh?
Is 155 still in your goals? I mean, I know you want to get your belt back at 45, but you still envision yourself going up to 155 and trying to get a belt over there as well?
Right now, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about my rematch. That's it. So it's just, by the looks of it, he wants Spain. I think Dana mention Spain? Yeah, he said he loved it?
Yep.
Let's just talk about Spain and 145.
Fair enough. And obviously, they just mentioned Zuck. What did he say to you after? Did he get to talk to you?
Yeah, he was backstage with us. He was in the room, and just say everyone knows that this is the game. You know what I mean? Obviously it is 2 in a row, but I mean that's fine. Last one, but this one got caught, all good. I've been the hammer plenty of times. I was a nail today, so it's all good. I'll bounce back. Trust me.
Obviously, I can tell all eyes are on Spain for you and that reclaim your belts. But you did say at media day that you kind of want to fight at MSG one day before you call it. So maybe this November in MSG is that one you want to get in this year.
Yeah, well, maybe if Spain one doesn't happen for the rematch, maybe we do it in MSG. It doesn't matter. It's just I want that rematch. I think I deserved it. As I've said, I've been reigning champ for what? For almost 5 years. Is that right? Almost 5 years. Defended multiple times. You know what I mean? Fought, max 3 times when, let's be real, I didn't have to. Short notice fights, being active. I'm doing the favours, and I just want that rematch. I don't ask for much.
And speaking of Max, what do you make of his fight against Justin Gaethje at UFC 300?
Oh, great fight. That's going to be fun. I'm excited to watch that one for sure.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Alex, we see a lot of fighters after a crushing loss just not even want to come out and face the media. Why was it important for you to come out and talk tonight?
Oh man, it's a part of the game. You know what I mean? I want to talk to you when I win and when I lose. That's just how it is. Obviously, the last one was a bit different. You know what I mean? Because it was obviously as you see me after, it was a little bit. It was only a couple of months there. I think people maybe took that out of look. I'm sweet. You see me breaking down now if it was a problem, but I was just wasn't good then before that fight, and that's why you see me then. But now I'm good. You see me in high spirits. I just want that rematch. Now I'm just motivated more than ever. Just to I need that belt back, and now that's all that matters to me. Before it was, I want to be active, I want this, I want that, just try, where now it's just, give me that damn rematch.
If a rematch isn't next and you're...
It is next, it's next.
If it's not, do you see yourself kind of going back and forth between weight classes again?
After I get the belt back, after the rematch, we'll bounce between the two, yes.
Thank you.
Sorry, mate. Huh? All good? All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Sorry.
Good night to everyone. Buenas noches a toda mi gente.
Ilia, congratulations. I mean, listen, you were confident all along. You predicted you'd be here. You said you'd be champion. But now that you're sitting there with the belt, you did what you just did. What's the emotion like for you right now?
I feel amazing, man. I feel very thankful, and I just can't wait to leave this place and enjoy with the team and with my family.
I imagine. We won't keep you here too long. Competitive opening round, right? I mean, obviously you had a lot of respect for him. All three judges actually gave him the opening round. What did you think about the first 5 minutes and how he was as an opponent versus what you expected to see?
First of all, I don't need the judges. When I'm fighting, they can go and take their time to break and rest a little bit. But yes, man, the guy was really fast, very fast jabs. His movements, I don't know, with his kicks, he surprised me a little bit. It took me a little bit of time to study him, and I had to knock him out in the second round.
Yeah, it seemed you really gained confidence in the second round. Was it just figuring out his timing, his rhythm? Like, what changed that you gained that confidence? And did you know that right hand would be there to finish the fight?
I was just waiting to find my timing, you know. He I don't know how to say, me conectó algunos golpes. He catch me with a couple of punches. And he was like celebrating, like, ha ha ha. And I was like, now it's my turn. Wait for that. And the game plan since the first moment was to do a long combinations, not just a 1-2 punches, not like combinations of 3, 4, 5 punches, because it's more difficult to read long combinations than just combination with 2 punches. So, yeah, we did a great job. I become a world champion. I'm very happy and very thankful with God to give me all these moments to be able to live it, and I was able to enjoy it too during the whole week. So, very happy.
He's really, really interested in a rematch. Whether it's next or not, maybe you fight somebody else first, but given how great he was as a champion, do you believe he deserves a rematch with you at some point?
So he's such a good person, you know, and to be honest, at this point I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give him the rematch because he's a good person, but at the same time, it's time to move on. It's time to clean up a little bit the division, you know. It's time for the new generation to have new challenges, new faces, and I think I will be looking for that. But to be honest, my job it's to fight. Whoever they're gonna tell me I have to face and fight next, I will be there. So that's it.
Last thing for me, undefeated champion. What's your goal as champion? You know, some people want to be champs, 2 divisions. Some want to, you know, have the most title defenses in UFC history. Like, what's your goal as UFC champion?
I don't know. Right now, I don't know. My goal since the beginning was to become a UFC world champion. Now I have to go back home. I have to meditate, to visualize what are going to be the next steps that I'm going to take. But for sure, I'm going to make some big steps. So, yeah.
Ilia, right here. You just mentioned, you know, you'll fight whoever, you're the champion now. Does that mean you've kind of changed your tune on Max Holloway and Yair Rodriguez and Brian Ortega?
Max Holloway, no, all of them, they didn't make any sense for me right now. As I said, I need new challengers, new ones. So there are some upcoming fights. We'll see how they're gonna play out, and you're gonna see El Matador for a while. So.
You mentioned all these people who have had their title shots already. The one person in that top 5 who hasn't is Movsar Evloev, and you guys have some history. You're supposed to fight, I think, here in Anaheim at one point. Is that a fight you want to revisit, undefeated versus undefeated?
Look, Movsar is a good fight for me. I would love to fight him, but the guy has 8 fights in the UFC, 8 decisions, 0 submissions, 0 knockouts. From 8 decisions, 4 split decisions, man, come on. He needs to finish someone. Maybe they can find someone for him in his hometown. I don't know. Maybe he can fight with his dad or something like that and finish him. I don't know. But he needs to finish someone, you know? Because like the record he has right now, yeah, it seems nice. He's undefeated. But man, the guy didn't finish anyone. So he needs to do something.
And just last thing on a rematch with Alex, I think a lot of people, given his work, think that's would be deserved, but he just was knocked out twice in 4 months. Do you think it would be a bad idea for him to rush back?
At this point, I think that's the fight in the division, which makes more sense than any fight, you know. So we'll see. I don't know. I have to sit down with my management team, with the UFC, and we'll see what's the future is holding for me.
Ilia over here. It wasn't just a big night for Spain, but also a big night for Georgia. You and Merab picked up big wins today, so how does that feel for you in the Georgian community?
Feels amazing. Let me send a small message for all my Georgian fans. ჩემს პატარა საქართველოს მინდა დიდი მადლობა გადაუხადო მხარდაჭერისთვის ყოველთვის ჩემს გვერდით რომ გახართ მიყვარხართ ყველანი გულში და ერთი სული მაქვს რომ ჩამოვიდე და გნახოთ ყველანი და ერთად ვიზეიმოთ ეს გამარჯვება. Sí, la verdad que it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me, and I'm a lucky man to be able to represent such a great countries like Spain and Georgia.
Awesome, and I know you just did what you just did to Volkanovski out there, but in a potential rematch, is there something you would approach differently, or is it going out with that same attitude and just game plan for that one too?
I don't know if the UFC offers me to bring the UFC to Spain and do the rematch with Volkanovski, I'm in. Let's go. Let's do it. No fucking problem.
Algunas en español rapidito. Cuando hablamos la semana pasada me mencionaste la importancia de la meditación. Para ti, ¿qué tan crucial fue la meditación esa semana antes de la pelea más grande de tu vida?
Just for everybody, this week, throughout the week, actually mentioned the importance of meditation. So how important was meditation for you throughout this week before this fight?
El que no sabe hacia qué puerto navega, ningún viento es favorable, por lo que cada ser humano tendría que saber cuáles son sus objetivos, y para saber cuáles son tus objetivos necesitas meditar y verlo con claridad, necesitas visualizarlo. Entonces es un ejercicio que yo lo hago siempre.
When you don't know what port you're sailing to, you're lost, and you don't know where to go. And anyway, we'll do it. So it's very important for every human being to understand where they're going and to step a little bit and visualize and mentalize. So for me, this is what I did in meditation.
Y Dino estuvo aquí antes y mencionó que el Bernabéu sí es una posibilidad. Entonces, para ti, ¿cómo se oye sentir que ya estábamos cerquita para ver?
¿Ya lo dijo?
So Dana White mentioned when he was here that when asked about the Santiago Bernabéu, that would be a possibility. How do you feel about that?
Bueno, tendremos que tomar un par de copas de whisky con él y convencerlo entonces.
So we have to have a couple of glasses of wine with him and convince him about it.
Y si te dan la pelea en el Bernabéu, ¿qué otras arenas o estadios quieres pelear en?
If they don't, you said si le dan
el Bernabéu.
If you get the fight at Bernabéu, what other arenas would you like to fight in?
El Bernabéu, yo me quedo con el Bernabéu.
¿Qué otras mencionó?
Después del Bernabéu.
Escucha, pudiendo pelear en el Bernabéu ya no hay otra, siempre Bernabéu.
Listen, if I can actually fight on the Bernabéu, I mean, there's no other. This would be great.
Y finalmente, ¿cuál es el mensaje de todos los fanáticos hispanos que vieron tu pelea hoy?
And a message for all,
el
all the
mensaje
fans.
siempre de agradecimiento que le agradezco a todo el mundo por el apoyo constante que me dan y que quiero servirle de ejemplo, de motivación y de inspiración a todos los jóvenes que me han mirado, que da igual de dónde vengas, si sabes hacia dónde vas, es mucho más importante lo que tenemos enfrente que lo que dejamos atrás. Solo uno tiene que confiar en sí mismo, confiar en Dios, tener fe, y todo es posible en esta vida. Todos tenemos un propósito, solamente hay que confiar y creer y trabajar por ello.
Of gratitude, and thank you for the motivation and inspiration that you've gone for me. So it's a message for all of you. It doesn't matter where you're from. It really matters where you're going, and it doesn't matter what you've been through in your life. All of us have a purpose, and you have to believe in yourself and keep going, doing the work.
Gracias, Ilia.
Hey, Ilia, I just have one question. You mentioned having wine with Dana. Would that be Georgian wine or Spanish wine?
Both of them. Both of them. For sure, we're going to have time to taste both of them.
Thank you.
Ilia, speaking with some of the Spanish media, they mentioned that you've actually had some difficulty obtaining legal paperwork for citizenship in Spain. I'm curious how bringing a UFC belt and potentially an event that generates millions of dollars.
I don't know who told you that, but I didn't have any difficulties with that.
Okay, I must have misunderstood. No worries.
Ilia, por aquí. Bueno, lo primero, felicidades por esa espectacular victoria. Dana White le he preguntado y ha dicho que definitivamente van a venir a España, van a acudir hasta España. Si de ti dependiera, ¿qué fecha te gustaría a ti? ¿Qué fecha manejarías para hacer una defensa del cinturón en España?
First of all, congratulations on the win. Obviously, it was mentioned that the UFC would go to Spain. Depending on you, what would be the date for a card in Spain?
Hombre, acabo de salir de una pelea, déjame descansar un poquito. No tengo ni idea cuándo quiero volver a pelear. Lo único que quiero ahora mismo es tomarme un par de tragos, disfrutar con mi familia, con mis amigos. Y lo último que quiero es pensar en la pelea.
Dude, I just finished a fight. I have no idea where I'm going to fight again. All I want is have some drinks with people, enjoy with my family, and then I'll have some time to think about the next fight.
Quería también, Ilia, preguntarte acerca del combate en el primer asalto. Hemos visto un Volkanovski siguiendo bastante la estrategia de la movilidad, de tomar la distancia. ¿Cuál era tu game plan realmente? Habías dicho que querías noquearlo en el primer asalto. ¿Esa era la intención o sí que querías ir poco a poco ordenando tu striking para acabar noqueando?
No quería...
I just wanted to talk about your strategy in the first round. We saw some distance management. We saw you kind of doing things little by little. Was that the game plan? What was the real game plan for you to actually...
Vámonos. La verdad que yo como querer así presionarlo para noquearlo en el primer asalto no era algo que estaba en mi mente. Yo solamente pensaba y creía que lo podía hacer en el primer asalto. Y la verdad que nunca me gusta ponerme esa presión extra, ¿no? Pero cuando me preguntan, yo digo la verdad que es lo que pienso y lo que siento, ¿no?
Actually wanting to go after him and pressure him the first round, that wasn't my intention. I just said, listen, I would like to be able to, that's what I want to do. Everybody, when they ask me the question, I say, this is what I want to do. That's my desire, but that's not exactly what I'm going to do.
Ilia, ¿crees que esta victoria tan dominante, tan noqueadora contra Volkanovski, que no haya perdido en toda su historia en la división, ¿no? del peso pluma de UFC, te convierte directamente ya en una superestrella?
Do you think that such a dominant win against the Volkanovski that has never lost like that in the division, does that make you automatically into a superstar?
No lo sé, la verdad. No sé si me convierte en una superestrella o no. Yo para mí siempre he sido una superestrella desde el día 1. Siempre he creído en mí, siempre he tenido las mayores expectativas sobre mí, así que para los demás lo que soy o lo que dejo de ser no es algo que me importa. A mí lo que me importa es la opinión propia y la de mi familia y seres cercanos, ¿no?
I don't know if that makes into a superstar or not, but I can tell you I've always thought of myself as a superstar since day number one. I've always believed in myself and the opinions of others. It doesn't matter on this. It matters what I believe in myself and the opinions of my family and those who are close to me.
Y para terminar, las redes sociales están que echan fuego ahora mismo, Ilia. Me están llegando muchísimos mensajes desde España y hay mucha gente preguntándome lo mismo. ¿Qué celebración va a haber? ¿Qué tenéis pensado hacer? No sé si iréis a Madrid, iréis a Alicante. Cuéntanos un poco.
And one final question. The social media is on fire. Everybody's asking, what's the celebration going to be like? You're going to Madrid, you're going to Alicante. Where are you going?
Pues ahora mismo de aquí nos iremos a Beverly Hills y me pienso poner a tope con mi papá, con el papá Giorgio, con Agustinho, con Jorge, con todos. Me pienso poner a tope. Así que déjenme ir, por favor.
I'm good. Right now, we're actually going
¡Vámonos!
We're going to Beverly Hills, and
¡Vamos,
everybody's going to get drunk.
Saca
My
eso
father,
que tienes
everybody.
escondido.
We're gonna get drunk. We're gonna turn up.
Ilia por aquí.
Gracias.
Ilia.
Es que tengo mis anuncios entre medio.
Ahí está.
Perdón.
Ilia, hablando precisamente de ellos, ¿cuán importante tú crees que es, no solo para ti ya de la grandeza como campeón, sino un gimnasio en España, en Alicante, de dos argentinos, los hermanos Climent, hacer a un campeón del mundo del UFC ante una leyenda? ¿Cuán importante tú crees que es eso en este momento?
And how important, actually listening to all of them, how important it is to be, having these people behind you, a gym, two Argentine brothers from Alicante, and being with them throughout this journey.
Pues otra prueba más y otro ejemplo más para los jóvenes que creen que necesitan un gimnasio de la hostia y unos sacos y unas instalaciones. Mira, nosotros somos el claro ejemplo de que si tú tienes una visión, da igual las condiciones que tengas, puedes convertir y hacer tu sueño realidad, ¿sabes? Que nosotros hemos creído en nosotros mismos, hemos trabajado súper duro con lo que hemos tenido, hemos remado, no nos han regalado nada y aquí hemos llegado, hasta aquí. Aquí tenemos en la mesa un trocito de oro.
This is another example what I said. You know, it doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter when you actually would say for the youth out there, you need to have a badass gym with the best equipment ever. No, we're the proof that we did our work. We really struggled. We put in the work to get where we are, and look at where we are right now. We have a belt.
Y una más, hace poco acabas de ganar a ser de campeón del mundo del UFC. ¿Tú entiendes lo que tú has logrado, lo que significa ser campeón mundial del UFC, que tan pocos lo logran y tantos lo intentan? ¿Tú entiendes lo que es eso, Ilia?
And a final question. You have just become a UFC champion. I understand this, but do you understand what it means now?
No tengo ni idea, ¿me lo explicas?
Ser el mejor en tu división y ganarle a una leyenda, ¿no?
Bueno, vámonos, ahí estamos. Entonces.
Ahí está.
I have no idea.
Vámonos.
I have no idea. Can you explain it to me? Listen, it's winning a championship belt against a
Por supuesto
legend.
que estoy consciente, he trabajado durísimo por este momento, es lo que te digo, pero el propósito mío en esta vida es muy grande. Yo tengo un mensaje muy grande para darle a toda la nueva generación y en eso voy a poner las manos, ¿no?
I've put in a lot of hard work, and I do have a lot of work ahead of me for the new generations. That's what I want. I have a good, big purpose in my life, and that's what I'm going to put my effort on.
Ilia, over here. You've been calling out Conor McGregor. Dana White said very unlikely Conor fights at 145 if he even fights again.
And who said that I want to fight him at 145?
Where do you want to fight him?
Without any weight limit. There is no weight if I fight him. He can choose it. Ooh. I give him that option. If he feels that he's ready for this level of competition, he can choose the weight.
Thank you. And also...
I choose the place.
Also, after you swiped the belt from old man Volkanovski Thursday at the press conference, how does it feel to know that's actually yours?
It feels amazing, man. It feels great. I can't even explain it. You have to live it.
Felicidades. Gracias.
Muchísimas gracias, te lo agradezco.
Ilia, has pedido a Conor McGregor después de proclamarte campeón. ¿Por qué quieres enfrentarte a él?
And follow up on Conor McGregor, you have asked for Conor McGregor after being a champion. Why Conor McGregor?
Porque como que Conor representa el último capítulo de las MMAs, ¿no? Entonces para cerrar ya el capítulo y dejarlo en el olvido, es la pelea que yo veo en mi mente, ¿no?
Because Conor represents the last chapter in MMA, so in order to actually go through that last chapter and leave him behind and forgotten, that's it. That's where I need to go.
Genial, pues muchas gracias y muchas felicidades.
Muchísimas gracias. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you very much to everyone.